I don't mind stealing bread from the mouths of Texas.
Your life is a lot different than when you first started in the music industry, you know, a couple decades ago. You're married, you know, kids. How difficult is that to, like, pick up and leave and go on the road? Or do you bring them with you on the road?
Yeah, we bring them every chance we get. They're kind of, since they've been born, traveling. I mean, our daughter was born, and literally we were just sort of waiting until the doctor said, yes, it's okay, take her. You can take her on a plane, and, you know, she's safe, she's not going to get sick. We were sitting in the passport agency trying to get her a passport immediately, you know, right after she was born. They're very comfortable traveling. It's just part of their childhood. And I wouldn't be traveling around the world and doing what I do if I couldn't be with them for intervals. I would stay home. So, you know, it's having them with me and having my wife with me is super important. But, you know, because we're that type of a family that likes adventures and travels. It's not a juggling act, juggling my career with my family. They're all a part of it. It's all one and the same.
Lovely. Love to hear that. We've got another audience question. Shane has got a question for Chris.
What's up, Shane?
Yes, I do. First of all, I want to say welcome back to Toronto.
Thank you.
Second of all, you wrote a song for the Spider-Man 2 soundtrack called Someone to Die For, which is ultimately performed by somebody else.
Yeah, actually, I didn't write that song. I sang on a demo of that song, and some... Someone said a bad thing, but it's not fair. Journalists have said the same thing to me, so don't feel bad.
Hey. Next question,
Okay. Moving on to an email question. Hey, Chris, what made you want to write You Know My Name from Casino Royale, and why are there 3 different versions?
Really, it was a phone call saying, would you like to do a song for the new James Bond film? And at first, I didn't know that it wasn't going to be like another sort of normal James Bond production with Pierce Brosnan or whoever, and I wasn't interested at all. And then I found out that Daniel Craig was going to be the new James Bond, and I was familiar with his acting in like British indie film work, and I just put 2 and 2 together and thought this could be really incredible. So my wife and I went and saw, a short edit of the film. They'd filmed like 2/3 of it, and we saw that, and I just thought it was great. And after that, it was really, I was working really hard because I wanted to be the guy that wrote that song. And really, there's only one version of it. There are just different mixes. The straight up rock version was done by David Arnold and I, who we co-wrote and produced it and played all the instruments on it, really. And then it was like the 4th day of recording. He did an orchestral score, which he put on there. And so there's a version with it and there's a version without it, and that's it.
Is he your favorite Bond, Daniel Craig?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, I go back and forth with Sean Connery, Daniel Craig, but it's really 2 different kind of movies.
Yeah. It's a darker movie, less campy than the ones in the past.
It is. It's dark.
Okay, we've got a text question. Hi, Chris. What is the album or song you've made throughout your musical career that is your favorite to perform? Thank you, Steve.
You know what? I don't have favorites, Steve. I really like, from one night to another, it could be a different song. Not even albums, really. I mean, my latest album is usually my favorite, and I love Carry On, and all the songs that we're performing from it are great to perform, so I'll say that. Carry On.
Okay, there you go. In making this, making Carry On, was the songwriting process different for you? Married, living overseas, having kids, was it a different process?
My kids wrote it all, really. I hadn't been much. It's just like, come on in, here's a microphone. It was and it wasn't. I mean, no matter what, I think when I write songs, I have to sit down and sort of create the music and imagine it and imagine where it will go. But previously in my lifetime, when I've done that alone, it's usually been in sort of dark places and dark atmospheres where I spent a lot of time alone and didn't necessarily always have a great time doing it. The difference now in like writing for Carry On is that I enjoyed the whole process. I enjoyed working at home, in the spare bedroom with my family there, with my children there. I can hear in the background, and that actually helped my concentration because it wasn't like something where I had to wake up and think about going off to a studio alone, and that had a huge impact. And also I think the experience. 20 years of experience, it's just every time I make a record or write for it, it in a sense gets easier because I have experience to draw from.